Welcome to our Smart Energy videocast, where we touch on various interesting and relevant topics with the aim at sharing insight and understanding of the matter. My name is Jan Erik Thorsen, and together with my colleague Otger Gudmundsson, we will introduce how the Sønderborg District Heating System supports and benefits from sector coupling, and at the same time help decarbonize Sønderborg municipality. This session builds on the general sector coupling videocast, which we encourage you to watch.
Now, modern technologies and diversification of energy generation has led to a vastly different energy landscape compared to the past. Sector coupling and integration are terms for connecting and integrating various actors in the energy system to take advantages of synergies. The most known and applied sector coupling is cogeneration of heat and power. District heating has a couple of desirable attributes for sector coupling. It has extreme ability to decouple the supply and the demand. The system ranges from megawatts to gigawatts. Energy quality requirement is low, meaning we can utilize low temperature sources. Let's take a look towards the Sonderborg District Heating System and then put focus on sector coupling based on the wider Sonderborg District Heating System. Henrik, can you start with telling us a little bit about Sonderborg?
Yeah. Let's start with sharing where Sønderborg is located. Sønderborg is located in the southern part of Denmark with a population of 28,000 persons, corresponding to 12,500 households. Besides the old castle dated back to year 1200, it has an interesting district heating system covering about 99% of the energy use for heating and domestic hot water in the city. The district heating system has become the backbone for the Sønderborg municipality in realizing its climate targets.
And the climate target of the city is to be CO2 neutral by 2029, including the transport, the industry, the residential and commercial sectors. Further, we want to realize the target in a cost-efficient manner for the residents. And the strategy to reach the target is to focus on energy efficiency and diverse heat sources in the district heating system. The Sonderborg District Heating System is a great example of how even a small-scale district heating system can take advantage of multiple heat sources and synergies with sector coupling. The base load for the system is provided by a waste incineration plant, generating both heat and power. The waste used is typically non-recyclable and would otherwise go into landfills.
And beside waste incineration for baseload, Sønderborg has a biomass plant for midload. The biomass plant has a dual purpose, as it is also designed to provide the drive energy for absorption heat pumps used to boost the temperature of a local geothermal source. A number of peak load boilers using bio-oil and natural gas are distributed in the system, providing peak load reserves and backup capacities. Additionally, the system applies thermal energy storages, originally for the purpose of decoupling of the power generation from the heat demand. In the future perspective, it will additionally enable better utilization of fluctuating renewable energy sources.
The Sønderborg municipality covers several towns in the area, and some of those towns have historically operated their own district heating system. And to realize the ambitious climate goals of the Sonderborg municipality, the long-term plan is to connect these systems via transmission line, as well as connecting new towns and settlements that are currently gas supplied. In this way, the heat generation plants and storages that have been invested in one town can be an asset in another town, providing a higher flexibility, increased resilience, and increased potential for cost-effective utilization of green and low-carbon sources. By the way, this is in general a relevant line of thinking regarding utilizing the full potential of sector coupling for cities. The Copenhagen case story is a great example of a large city using district heating to take advantage of synergies from sector integration. We encourage you to check our videocast on the sector coupling in the light of the Copenhagen. But let's dive into sector coupling in the perspective of the Sonderborg municipality.
In Sønderborg, there are a number of coupling points that we will go now through. So, the coupling to the power sector is, as mentioned earlier, the most known and applied. Utilizing the waste heat from the power generation is efficient for replacing the use of electricity or gas that would otherwise be used for individual heating purposes. In Sønderborg, power is generated by the principle of cogeneration based on waste incineration and from renewable sources, such as photovoltaics and wind turbines. To support the power sector to handle fluctuations from renewable power generation, the district heating utilities have, in addition to thermal energy storages, installed both electrical-driven heat pumps and direct electric boilers. These heat generation technologies, in combination with the other heat sources, enable the district heating utility to take advantage of low-cost power periods and for maximizing the synergy potential.
In Sonderborg, there is an effective coupling of the waste sector to the power and the heat sector. Waste incineration enables environmental friendly handling of household waste by controlled incineration, which, in addition to avoiding landfilling, enables energy recovery of the waste. For Sonderborg, the output is heat and power. Currently, the waste is around 40% fossil-based and the remaining part is renewable. And as the recycling in the area increases, the fossil share is expected to reduce in the future. But what about the industry sector?
Yeah, here we have a great example of industry sector coupling, and that is the local Danfoss campus, located at the northern end of the system. Here, Danfoss installed a 6 megawatt substation able to deliver the surplus heat from production processes to the district heating grid. The waste sources are including excess heat from air compressors, process cooling, and a data center. With the connection to the district heating system, any future waste heat sources at the campus can easily be added to the waste heat streams. An example is a hydrogen power-to-X facility based on green electricity that is under consideration. The hydrogen is planned to be used for production purposes as well as for fueling trucks. The waste heat from the hydrogen production will be utilized at the campus, and any excess waste heat will be delivered to the district heating system.
Besides this, an existing 18 megawatt emergency biogas boiler that is located at the campus will be repurposed as a backup boiler for the district heating system, and in this way minimizing the investment costs for the northern part of the new district heating system. The coupling of the industry with the heat sector is two-way, meaning that if Danfoss is not self-sufficient with heat, the company can import heat from the district heating system via the 6 megawatt substation. This enables cost-optimized heat supply for Danfoss as well as for the district heating system. Another example of an industry-based heat source that is in planning is focusing on heat recovery from a local brick producer.
Yeah. Also, efficient supermarkets in the area are already utilizing the excess heat from the cooling system for own heating purposes, and in this way minimizing alternative heat generation. However, during large part of the year, supermarkets have more cooling process heat available than they can use by themselves. By coupling the food sector with the heating sector, the supermarkets can be prosumers for the district heating system. It can take heat from the district heating system if they are not self-sufficient with heating and deliver the excess heat to the system when they have too much. In effect, the heat recovery reduces the supermarket's CO2 footprint and makes them more sustainable. The same principle is under planning for the Sønderborg Hospital, where the heat from the cooling system will be utilized by the district heating system. Those are good examples how low-grade excess heat can be utilized in a smart way in areas that have district heating infrastructure.
And due to the location of Sonderborg, there is a lot of agriculture and industry production, which have waste streams that can be effectively utilized in other sectors. The agricultural and industry sectors are supplying CO2-free biofuels, for example straw, garden and park waste, and residual wood from the industry. These are used in the local heat plants, which ensure efficient use of local resources. Additionally, the local biomass is used to produce biogas. During the biogas production, there is a substantial amount of unavoidable waste heat generation, and this waste heat can be used in the district heating system. In Sonderborg, a significant part of the heat supply is actually biomass-based.
And finally, it is important to mention the renewable source of solar thermal heat. The combination of low temperature district heating, solar thermal energy and thermal energy storage is a good example on how this renewable, but fluctuating, energy source can be utilized beyond the periods of sunny days.
And if we pull this all into perspective of the Sonderborg vision to become net zero CO2 emitting by 2029, then this journey actually started back in 2007 by launching the Project Zero initiative. And the core of the initiative is to focus on energy efficiency improvements at the end user, converting existing energy production facilities away from fossil fuels, utilize local renewable resources, and enable sustainable growth with green job creation. The baseline for evaluating the success of the initiative is the 2007 CO2 emissions, which amounted to 700,000 tons. In 2021, initiatives supported by the project have reduced the CO2 emission to 312,000 tons, which corresponds to 54% emission reduction, or 388,000 tons of CO2. The Sonderborg District Heating System has made a significant contribution to the achieved emission reductions, as 80,000 tons of the avoided emissions have been realized by changing the fuel sources of the district heating system. And this graph shows how effective district heating systems are for decarbonizing the heat supply, which in Sonderborg case occurred in the time span of only 2 years, from 2011 to 2013. In case you would like to learn more about Project Zero, you can look on the link at projectzero.dk.
Now, those were some insights on Sønderborg District Heating and how it operates in the domain of sector coupling. Thanks for watching and hope to have you on board again.